And welcome to tonight's episode of Going Great Guns. I've got a couple of guests with me tonight that I'm just going to bring on in a minute, but I just wanted to say hello. As you can see, this is episode week 3 of the match season, and we're going to be discussing Fulham, looking ahead to that game. We might even talk about the Chelsea game, which I've got going on in the background as well now, where they are currently 1-0 up. Sterling's just scored. And discussing everything that's happened with Arsenal this weekend, mainly the KT transfers. So let's start bringing people in. We've got Ant, who we...
Yes.
Going, fella. How you going? You all right?
Yes. What's happening, John?
All good. Now that I've got all this info sorted out and the technology, we're all good. So before we touch on it a little bit more, we'll also bring on Aaron, who's down as, I'm sure you'll remember from one of our previous podcasts, we've got him down as Loudmouth. So here he is. Hi, Aaron. How you going?
I'm all right. How you doing? You all right, yeah?
Yeah, we're all good.
What time do you look call this? Huh?
I know, right? It's pod time. That's what time it is. So before we go any further, for those people that might not remember everyone, let's start with Ant. Let's go back with Ant for giving everyone a bit of a backstory to who you are, how you got involved with the Arsenal, and any Twitter or social media handles you want to share.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ant, Gooner Gospel TV, Gooner Gospel on all networks, on everything, on Twitter, aka X, on YouTube, on TikTok, Gooner Gospel. Come follow me, man. I've been supporting Arsenal all my life, and I'm just making content, trying to do it the right way, and I've been sort of making videos for the last sort of 3 years on and off, but now I'm back on it. And man, let's do it. Let's go.
And Aaron?
I ain't got much of a backstory.
Sorry, we're not. It's not the X Factor. We don't want to be. It's not...
Don't need the sob story.
I ain't got no sob stories. I'm not on socials like that, so I mainly just jump on to support man like that, innit? So that's why I'm here, innit?
You're just a regular Arsenal fan like the rest of us. You're one of the few that ain't on social media screaming and shouting for Arteta's head.
Just armchair Gooner, innit?
Armchair?
So a little bit of backstory to that. I call myself the armchair Gooner because I didn't used to get to too many games. I was always a member, but I never got to too many games. But just recently started going to more games. So armchair fan, armchair Gooner. But I'm trying to get there more now.
Hey, it's a cool name, man. It's a cool name.
I actually had to call myself Gooner Armchair because there was only an armchair Gooner out there. So I was slow to the part. I was even slow to that party. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is.
That's it.
So let's get straight into the nuts and bolts of it, guys. Let's go straight away with the whole Kieran Tierney thing. I know where I stand on it. I tweeted about it as soon as I saw it come up on, I think it was yesterday or today. Let's go with Ant first. Where are you on Kieran Tierney going on loan?
Well, look, I've done a short little video about it. I'm all right with it. I think it's one of them sort of things where he's not playing. He doesn't fit into Arteta's style of play, so he's wasting away. And for me, I think it's not a bad move for the lad. Once he comes back, he's got 2 years on his contract, and I think there weren't many teams in for him. Do you know what I mean? And he's an old school sort of left back, and I don't think we play that old school way. So for me, I think it's not a bad move. We're playing with sort of that inverted style, and as much as it might annoy people and whatever, you've got to give the manager the tools that he needs to succeed. If not, we're not going to succeed. Do you know what I mean? And probably a few years ago, left back like Kieran Tierney would have smashed it for us. But look, we're in transition. We're playing with players like Zinchenko, players like your Tommy Asu's, your players like Kivior, Timber. Do you know what I mean? They're a different sort of left back now, you know. So for me, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it for him, and that's where I'm at with the Tierney news.
Aaron,
I ain't happy about it.
Right.
For me, we relying on too many utility players To be fair, there's nothing wrong with having like a player that just plays in one position, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want the team to be like a bunch of jack of all trades, master of none. And for me, playing Tomiyasu at left back, even though he's naturally on the right hand side, didn't make too much sense when you have Tierney. But they could have at least put him in the shop window if they wanted to move him on, and like let him play a few games, even half an hour, in the last one, just to kind of show everybody like, look, this is what he can do. He's old school, like Ant said. He's up and down the pitch and all that, so he can cross as well. But I think the injuries didn't really help him out in the past. But I think he's gotten over that. He's been injury free for a long time, and now he's injury free. He's not even getting any games. So I feel like we should have kept him, like with Zinchenko, two left backs, natural left backs. Timber's not back for a long time. Plus, he's only played one game, so obviously we'll miss him, but not really because he wasn't really integrated into the team as much. But yeah, I'm not too pleased with this one, so I don't know who we're going to play left back. Maybe, I don't know, David Raya? I don't know. I'm obviously messing around, but yeah, I'm not too sure.
Let's say he runs out with a number 3 on his back. I'm sort of in the middle of both here, to be honest. I don't. It's a really good move for Kieran Tierney in terms of game time. He's going to get more game time, which you've got to give the lad that. You know what I mean? He came down when he first came down to us, COVID season. He won the FA Cup. We were all thinking, I think, future captain here. His quality is exactly what you want. Blood and thunder, roll his sleeves up and get stuck in. But as you said, Aaron, as Ant said, they don't. I don't think any top six team, play that way anymore. They don't play with full out and out fullbacks, and obviously doesn't. But as Aaron was saying, like I also think there are some roles you need specific players that play a specific way for. Like it's a specialised role. So yeah, although Zinchenko can move into midfield, he started off as a midfielder who's been pushed out to the left, and like. In the same way that Ashley Cole started off as a left winger but dropped into left back, he became the best left back in the world because he knew the front position as well as the back. Kieran Tierney could get forward. He was an out and out fullback, and I think in terms of being able to change up a style of game, again, like Aaron said, when you're playing against Crystal Palace away, instead of sticking a right-sided player on the left to see if he can do that role, stick a left-sided player and just go blood and thunder for it in a derby. Surely that's what you want, isn't it? And I don't think it's going to do much. Like you said, Ant, when he comes back, he's got 2 years left. Well, that's prime selling years then, isn't it? Because that's when you're looking to move on because the club have either got to make a decision or you're just going to walk away in a year and a half for free. So, and then when you watch the Amazon documentary, he obviously gets homesick, the lad, as well, doesn't he? He had his chef mate come down and live with him and cook his food for him. What's he going to be like over in Spain? It's even further away.
His mate's going to love him for that.
And we all took the mickey out of him for having his Tesco carrier bag, didn't we? I'm pretty sure that Tesco carrier bag is going to have a lot of sun factor in it because when he goes back over to Spain, the Scottishness in him, he's going to burn up the fella.
He's going to turn into a crisp.
I mean, look, if he comes back, I guess he learns a new style of football if he goes and plays out there, doesn't he? So it might help us in the long run, you know.
It adds to the game, and I think the thing about it is, look, Tierney, the market weren't there for him. I think I've spoke to Aaron about this a few weeks ago. The market weren't there for him. Do you know what I mean? If there was a market for him,
offer from Newcastle, was there? There was rumours, but nothing solid.
There was rumours.
A lot of things to Newcastle, man.
A lot of things were sort of set out there, but you say strengthen them, but I'm not trying to be bad. I don't think no one's looking at Tierney's injury record. Like, what's going on? Like, everyone's forgotten about his injury record. Like, in times we've really needed him, has he been there? Has he been there? You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like once a player leaves or sort of people like a player a bit more, everyone starts remembering the good times, but forgets about the bad times.
I just don't want us to be short in certain positions because last season,
today, actually. January, sorry, Aaron, go on.
Done. January, we got rid of everybody, not everybody, but most of the team, and then we were really thin on the ground. So are we going to get anybody else in? I don't know. we're looking at
I was saying last week, though.
Ivan Fresneda and all that. So
Me and Aaron were saying last week, Aaron, that maybe the reason he's been playing Partey on the right is to so that we're starting to get used to playing it in the end of the season when we might have more injuries and stuff. They're more used to playing different roles, but. There is a bit of it you think, well, don't mess around with it. You've got players that play in that position, square peg, square hole, whack him in. You know, sometimes football doesn't have to be that difficult, does it? It's just play the system.
Yeah, but the difficulty with that is that we've got a modern day manager. If we want to go back to your Sam Allardyce's and your old school manager,
yeah. I get it.
Listen, if you want to go back to these sort of basic-minded managers, we can do that. But what the manager we've got now, I'm not being funny. I don't think even a Pep would be interested in having a Tierney. He doesn't deal with them sort of left backs, old school left backs and right backs. Even Pep doesn't do it. The best managers in the world don't really do it. Look, I think for myself, I think Arteta deserves our trust. You know what I mean? It's all right us throwing criticisms left, right, and centre, but he's brought us this far. If he's saying that, listen, he doesn't fit what I'm trying to do. No disrespect to the lad, but I've got to move him on and go for a different style of player. And it is what it is. Like, for me, anyway, I feel like we keep reverting back to, but we need that old school, like Hector Bellerin, right back, Kieran Tierney, left back.
I just don't want us to fall short.
I'm not having any Bellerin slander here, by the way. I'm a Bellerin fan. But I know what you mean, though. For years and years and years, we cried out for someone to be ruthless because we just Wenger just kept picking his same favourite players. It didn't matter what they did; they just got in the team. Arteta comes in. If you're not going to fit in, I'm getting rid of you. And genuinely, you do need that because he needs to have everyone. Look how he did the right thing by Aubameyang, didn't he? Got rid. He wasn't fitting into the system. He got rid of him, and suddenly we've got players that want to score and want to play for him, and that's what you need, isn't it?
And there you go. At the time, I don't think there was so many fans that were on Arteta's back and saying, "Look, you're doing the wrong thing." Or even look, Mesut Ozil, how could you leave your number 10 out? What are you doing? What's happening now? Do you know what I mean? Like
we've upgraded Ozil to Odegaard. Do you know what I mean? He knows the geezer knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
He deserves a bit of your trust.
Yeah.
Sort of, do you know what? Give him a minute. See what he's trying to do. Do you know what I mean? Let's see what he's trying to do.
We don't know, obviously, as well. As all fans, we don't know what's been said behind closed doors. It might be a case of go out there and like I say, I've always been a massive fan of. I think players, especially English players, like he who shot not be named, that's gone over to Bayern Munich. You need to go out there and experience this type of football to make yourself a better player. That way, you can become world class because you're not just doing it week in, week out against the same people. Because it gets easy after a while, I guess. You know, I'm just.
You might be able to win a trophy finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be hilarious? Just getting off on this, but wouldn't it be hilarious if Spurs won the FA Cup and they won nothing?
That means
the curse of
Kane. That means he was the problem.
I would even endure Tottenham winning an FA Cup or a League Cup. Let's go League Cup. Let's not push it. Let's go League Cup. Just
you can have one of the League Cup thingy, Bobby.
That's the last trophy they won. Back in 2008.
Yeah, that's right. I saw another brilliant tweet today as well. Match of the day wasn't even invented when Spurs last won their title.
Yeah. What year was it?
I think it was in the 60s, wasn't it? I
think it doesn't matter what
year. You can't see me. They can't see trophies. We had to get a little shot, and it's been three episodes. We had to get a little Tottenham dig in. So I'm still watching the Luton go. They're actually playing quite well, actually, Luton.
Go on, Luton.
So looking forward to this weekend.
Yes.
There are 3 teams left that can go on with a 100% record. Us, Man City, and Brighton.
Right.
Brighton.
Now,
come on, Brighton.
Oh mate, they're playing so well again, and I've just did you say? Like I said, have you been watching the Chelsea game in the background while you're waiting for me to join? You see £115 million Moises Caicedo fall over the ball. You're like, what are you doing? He literally stood in midfield, just went flank. Just like, wow, what's going on?
It's a win whenever players.
Brian must be just sitting there going, they got rid of McAllister, got sent off, and then he got him and can't play. It's Chelsea. They can't. There's something wrong with them. People
They're
go
really
there.
good at that business, Brighton. They're really good at buying and selling. Oh my gosh, they're on par with Ajax. Them man.
We've got the best deal out of Brighton when we signed Ben White out of them. When we got Ben White, he's and Trossard, yeah.
And Trossard, yeah.
Yeah, let's not forget Trossard. I don't know why he's not getting played up front.
I would probably going forward to the Fulham game. I'd play him against Fulham. I think Fulham are going to come to the Emirates to attack. I don't think they're going to sit back and try and defend on a low block and try and catch us. I think they're going to come and try and play a bit of football. I don't think Marco Silva plays that style of football, does he?
No, but last season they did show us too much respect. I feel like they did.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they showed us a lot of respect. But look, no Mitrovic this year to have to deal with.
It's going Saudi, isn't it?
Yeah. No Mitrovic, so that's a positive. But yeah, it's a tough one. So you reckon they're going to come out and play? You reckon?
They will. I think they will. Who did they play first game of the season? Right, they played Brighton. Fulham. Yeah, who did Fulham play first game of the season? I can't remember. But they it was one of those games where they should have scored more goals than they did. But they were creating loads of. Oh no, it was against them. The teams are creating chances against them because they're attacking. So, they're focusing on attack now. So if like Brentford, I think it was Brentford played Spurs first game of the season, didn't they? Anyway, whoever it was, my memory's shocking. If they can create chances against them, we should be able to create chances against this Fulham defence. Surely, the way we played against against Palace, we were starting to click. Declan Rice is getting there. At home again, I think. Sort of again, me and Ant were saying the other day. I think the expectation levels have come down because of the two results. I don't think people are expecting us to fly at teams as much as we did last year. So I think they'll be a bit more patient if they can see we're building up and doing the patient sort of drawing the defence out. I think we might. I've got a feeling we're going to smash him, to be honest, but I don't know.
Listen, for me, I think you know what I reckon. Once Zinchenko's back in the team, I reckon things are going to sort of start heating up. Like
across again, won't he? So you'll see Gabriel come back in, Ben White move to right back again, and Thomas Partey move up again, won't it?
I think
surely.
We need Partey in the midfield, man. The way we were playing when he went back in the midfield against Forest was brilliant. So we need him in that midfield because he shores things up. You know what I mean? Lets everyone else can actually.
Trossard in ahead of Nketiah as well.
Yeah.
Eddie's a really good home striker, but
he can't score off the bench.
Jesus is back in training.
Yeah, don't rush him, though. Apparently, he's ready for the game. I'm like, nah, don't play him.
Apparently, the press conference today, Arteta's talking about, Jesus is ready. He's raring.
Mind games. It's got to be mind games.
You reckon he's playing mind games?
Definitely. You got to play mind games. That's why he's playing Partey at right back. He's trying to throw people off because last season it was quite consistent of who he was playing. So now I think he's just trying to be unpredictable. Yeah, he's trying to get rid of this second season syndrome where everyone can figure us out and then slap us. You know what I mean?
You see, my idea was in playing Partey at right back was because we didn't have Zinchenko at left back playing that inverted role. So he was trying to do one side inverted.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So that's what I was thinking. I could be completely wrong because
if he was in the midfield, he was never on that right hand side.
If Zinchenko comes in, exactly. When we've got the ball, Partey moves into midfield. When we don't have the ball, Partey moves back out to the right back. But I'm thinking he might revert back to type. Zinchenko will start moving into midfield. You'll leave Partey where he is in midfield. Ben White goes back to right back. And everything sort of falls back into place. But like I said, I could be completely wrong, but we'll find out when we play Fulham. If Zinchenko's back in the starting line.
This is
Do you think Havertz is going to start? Havertz. Because if he starts,
I think he will.
He's right back. You know what I mean?
What if Havertz starts?
So if Partey's not
back.
playing a I think you might be right. I think we might be on saying that Havertz only plays in midfield once if we're playing Partey in the right back position, unless he plays him up front. He might play him up front as not a number 9, but in that position.
Do you think so?
You know,
they probably should. They should just try an experiment. You know what I mean? But I think they should have done it in pre-season.
Give him the freedom to move across the front three. Don't say to him, "You're a number 9, stay there," because I think, like you're saying there, if and when Zinni comes back, that then allows Martinelli more freedom because he'll move in behind, and Martinelli knows he's got it there. And then you've got also down the other side, you've got the Ben White Saka connection, which looks really good, doesn't it? To be fair,
yeah.
So I think that just frees us up a bit more. But yeah, let's see. And when it comes to Jesus, we're is it next week or the week after is the international break? Just give him off till then.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to do is rush him back, and then he'll go off and play for. They'll pick him for Brazil because Richarlison's shit, and he'll get injured for Brazil.
Richarlison scores goals for Brazil, but he can't score for his own club.
Brilliant. Keep that up. I ain't got a problem with that. He can get 8 goals a game for Brazil as long as he's not scoring for Spurs. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Awful forward.
More yellow cards and goals for Tottenham. It's an amazing stat. It's absolutely quality. And have you seen Laura Woods is getting grief on Twitter today because she was interviewing James Maddison, and she turned around to him and said, "So one question, why Spurs?"
That's a good question, though.
She's quality. She is absolutely quality.
But I mean, I guess if they're the only club in for him, and he ain't going to play in the first division in the Championship, is he? He's got to play in the Premier League.
There you go. That's why
Newcastle was in for him.
I don't know if they bid for him though.
Maybe
it's a solid bid. You go in Newcastle, you know,
every day of the week
because of the money, innit? If nothing else.
Yeah, and Champions League football. Remember, they're playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays with us. Let's not forget. But
Madison must have walked in and he must have gone, "Hello everyone," and Harry Kane went, "Bye, I'm off." Oh, you're the only reason I signed.
Listen, but for years, I hate to go back to the whole Spurs thing, but for years I've said what they needed to do was get rid of Harry Kane. As good as he is,
find a way,
he bottlenecks the team.
Yep.
Yeah. If everything goes through one player, it ruins everything. Yeah. It's good for a bit. And it's good for that player, but it's a team sport. This ain't tennis. Do you know what I mean? You don't play by yourself. When you start bottlenecking a team, that's when you sort of suffer. You become what we call a one-man team. Do you know what I mean? And for
it happened to Arsenal. It happened to Arsenal with Van Persie, man. When Van Persie was on that form, that's all we did, wasn't it? You know?
Happened to us with Aubameyang. It happens. You know what I mean? And when you start bottlenecking a team, and it's so difficult. And I've even said this to Spurs fans. You know what I mean? I've said it for years that if you get rid of Harry Kane, I bet you your team will improve. And they're like, no, never. It's Harry Kane. I said, listen, it's all about one player. You know what I mean? Everyone looks for that one player. It ruins everything.
Was all about getting his own goals as well. I mean, I know he assisted, but he mainly only ever assisted Son, really, didn't he? But in general, it was more about him scoring goals and Tottenham winning trophy. Well, we're still talking about Tottenham. It's ridiculous. Right, but I know what you mean. It's and that's where we have had to move on from. You know, like you said, once we got rid of Aubameyang, we can then start to make the rest of the team flourish and make. You know, they're not all looking for that one player, which means everyone can move the ball around and everyone can get a chance. You know. You
see, look, this is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here trying to do Arteta appreciation hour, but this is what he's trying to. Well, I am a little bit, but look, this is what he's created. No stars. Do you know what I mean? It's not about an individual. It's not about any individual. If you start doing up, I'm the main man. You can go. Bye. Do you know what I mean? You know, no one's irreplaceable. Everyone can be replaced. And you see the same thing at City. Do you know what I mean? You see how you can take a player out and put another player in and it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
Look at the players Pep's getting rid of this year, which actually goes back to the KT thing we were saying earlier on. Cancelo's gone. Aymeric Laporte has gone. He hasn't fought to keep hold of Gundogan or anyone like that. You know, he's let them go. You know,
Offer them a contract. If you don't want to stay by,
see you later. Yeah, and you see the first game of the season. Pep was chewing Haaland out on the pitch. He don't give a shit who you are. Don't matter how big and that's where you got to be. It's about the team, isn't it? You're right. It's about the team, and we're getting there. We are getting there.
Yeah, because you want to create that within your side. Because once you start doing all that superstar, I'm the superstar, bruv. Like it creates this whole dynamic within the dressing room that everyone starts looking at you funny. And they start looking at the manager funny, like, does the manager have control of this dressing room? Or can I start acting like I'm the big boss around here and he can't really say anything? You saw it with Aubameyang turning up late, you know? Like, you're the captain.
That was a prime thing, wasn't it?
But he always did that, though. But the thing is, when he was doing it, he was scoring goals, so he could get away with it. As soon as he stopped, the goals dried up. He's like, no, you're out, mate. You know what I mean?
Even before that, like on the Amazon Prime documentary, they showed a video of him taking the mickey out of Arteta, and he turned up late for training the next one. That was it. Gone, when he was out. See ya. When he was doing the whole warm your hands up thing, and he was pissing himself for laughter, and he just went, "No, go on, you're gone."
After we won the match, that was funny though.
Well, the whole thing is, it's like you can look at it as the goals dried up, and that's why he got kicked out. I don't think it's that. I think Arteta's ruthless. I think
he is.
Whether
if you're not performing, you can't
whether
get
the
away
goals
with
were there or not, I think if you start acting bad man, I'm on my own thing, this and that, you can do one. Like Mesut Ozil, we needed him. Arteta cut his nose off to spite his face. He said, "Listen, I need assists, but I'm not going to play you because you do not run."
He's a luxury player.
I don't care.
With that, man. He was my guy. He was my guy.
I love Ozil as well.
I love Mesut Ozil, but for me, I've always said, I support Arsenal. I don't support any player.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying he was my guy. You know what I mean? He was a luxury player.
It's really weird you say that as well, though, Ant. Because I'm just watching the Chelsea game, and they just flashed up a statistic about Nicholas Jackson. And they just said he's made the most off-the-run balls this season of any outfield player in the Premier League. What does that even mean? That just means he's running around the pitch on his own.
It's third game in. Ooh.
And he's
the
runs don't come to anything. He's just running off, going, "I'm over here," like Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest! He's just off.
He's like, here, like, it's just oh, mate. But
but then coming back on that, Havertz apparently has covered, I think, the most ground out of all the outfield players except maybe Ben White or something. So you're right. You're right. Arteta wants people that want to run, and that's where we've got to be careful on how we judge Havertz at the moment, because he isn't playing up front. He is playing in midfield, isn't he? And he's not. That's I've got there's a touch of the Bergkamps about him, not in terms of skill levels and whatnot, but when Bergkamp was struggling when he first signed, and it took until we played Southampton. I reckon Havertz will get a goal, and you might just see the pressure valve go, and he'll just relax and say, "Yeah, I'm here now. This is it."
He struggles. He struggles with confidence. I think you can see it, man. See it in his game. Yeah. He needs something to go right for him. Like you're saying, John. I think he needs either some spectacular goal to go in,
or an assist.
Some great assist.
A
to have a great game.
Yeah.
And to sort of, the thing, it's difficult because the fans are on his back, and we've got a little bit of a right to be, because we've seen him perform, and we haven't seen him perform well in this country. Do you know what I mean? So, and we're still waiting for that standout performance, because we did pay 65 million for him. So we're waiting for something to happen. But I feel like once the fans get off his back and he has that good performance, I think the tide will turn. So I think you're right with that whole sort of Bergkamp analogy. It can happen. Do you know what I mean? Things can change. You know, whether he's gonna become legend status.
Bloody hope so.
That's
a
different.
He scored the Champions League winning goal for us. I'll be well happy. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Obviously, he's at Arsenal. You want him to do well. So, like you said, if he can score that Champions League winning goal, that would be amazing. Or any winning goal. It doesn't really matter for me. Just score goals and perform.
That's all we ask. Well, you don't even have to score goals. Just perform. Just go out there and make it look like you want to win for the Arsenal, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
all we ask
right.
For. You don't ask for much.
So we've just hit the 30-minute mark. So before we go, one quick transfer thing, right? I put it on Twitter yesterday, or X or whatever it's called. And it doesn't look like it now because it looks like Balogun's sort of going to Monaco. But
bring in Kudus. Sorry.
Shout. But if we're rating him at 40 to 50 million, Balogun, and Juventus want 50 for Vlahovic, do you offer him a straight swap?
I don't know. That's a bit risky, you know.
Personally, for me, no, I don't think he performed well at Juventus, and also I don't like the fact he turned us down before.
Yeah, there's no point. It's don't go for him.
Would he be a decent squad
player?
The money. Just take the money.
Yeah, take the money. Get Kudus. That's cover for Odegaard as well. You got Trossard that can play up front. Jesus is back. You still got Eddie. You got Martinelli and Saka on the wings. Trossard can go in for Martinelli on the right side. We're a bit bare. So maybe Kudus apparently can play on the right hand side. So maybe get in a winger that can play on the right hand side, or you bring in Kudus. One of those two. Or I'm going off again.
My back. How much would you pay for Matoma at Brighton? How much would you try and test the ball for? Because I think he'd be a quality player.
No,
but he needs to start every game.
Price tag on him. I think they put a stupid price tag on him. Is it 80? No, that's someone else. Someone's going for 80 from Brighton. I think it's Matoma.
Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney, that's it. Yeah, he's going for 80.
Matoma,
I don't know. We can probably maybe do a swap with Brighton. 50 million. But who knows? But
what, from Matoma?
Yeah, but they get too much money. They get too much money.
The reason Brentford have put £80 million on Tony is they've got to pay off his gambling debts. That's what.
Is it?
I knew you're quick.
Right, so look, we don't want to go on much longer than 35. So let's start with Aaron. Prediction for Saturday then. Arsenal Fulham. We won't worry about the rest of the league. We'll look at us for now.
So we're going to win. I'll say win 2-0. First half is going to be amazing. Second half, we're going to just defend and run around. You know what I mean? Shut up shop. Shore things up.
As they say.
Yeah.
We're going to be 2-0 up, and it's going to bring this Jorginho, Kivior. He's going to bring it all. You'll just see all the defenders line up in the line, and he'll just bring them on like that, and it will just be literally a flat line coming on.
Yeah, he's going to park the bus, mate.
And what about you?
Me, do you know what? I think things are going to click in this game. This will probably be our best game of the season. I'm going for 3-0.
To Fulham, yeah?
Hey? To Fulham.
That's why he's wearing the white shirt and not an Arsenal one. Look, he's like...
You caught me. You got me. Come on, Fulham.
Oh, a little bit of sick come on from my mouth.
The poshos.
I think we're going to...
I think 3-0. I'm going with Saka.
Martinelli.
Saka.
Martinelli again.
And Jesus.
No, man. I don't even see him. Man.
He's playing. He's gonna play 20 minutes, man.
No.
Coming on, crash back out again. I think we're going to win 4-1 because I just think for some reason we got at home. I think they might sneak a consolation one in. But I think you're right. I think we are. I think Aaron's right. I think we're going to go cruise to the top and then we'll just get caught out and then have to score another one just to be on the safe side. I think we'll get 4-1. Mad prediction. Havertz to get a hat trick. How about that? There we go. Triple captain now. I'm telling you.
Come on.
Right, that's the 35-minute mark, lads. So thank you very much for joining me, even though I was a little bit late tonight.
Very late, bro.
Enjoy the game tomorrow, and we'll see you when we do our next one.
Yeah.
Right then, bro.
Catch up, man.
Yeah.
Bless
Cheers, everyone.
Good evening, guys. Salute.